Hello and welcome back to Probable Magic. This is Modonomics, episode number 5. Today we are catching up with Roy. So when I embarked on this Probable Magic video series, I completely misread the Magic online video environment. I thought that because there were a lot of other people, most of them far better Magic players than I, out there doing draft videos, that there would be limited interest in me doing any draft videos. On the other hand, I thought that since I didn't see a lot of people talking about certain things, like economics of playing Magic online and some probability things, that there'd be more interest in that. Ironically, I posted a couple Modonomic episodes. Nobody was finding them. I posted a draft video in which I set up my recorder wrong and had no sound throughout the entire draft video, and yet people were finding it and watching it. And also came to learn that doing the draft videos was both more fun than I expected it to be, and also more helpful to improving my game than I expected it to be, both in making me pay a little bit more attention to some things and in being able to go back and watch some things. So my focus is shifting a little bit, whereas I was only planning to record the occasional draft video. I'll probably now record the majority of my drafts going forward. I'm still interested in talking about the Modonomics series and the probability of draw series, which I'm both slowly plugging away at. But I'm also going to start trying to talk about some of the things like ROI a little bit more in the actual draft videos and have a little bit more crossover between some of these series. Unfortunately, since I haven't been doing that, I've kind of got a backload for a couple drafts I did before I started recording. And so this episode is a catch-up episode on those things I didn't record to get me to a good point moving forward. Probably not the most exciting thing to watch. I fully understand anyone just wanting to skip over this, but for completeness, I kind of want to record it and put it up there just because I like things to be complete. I did just this evening see Loading Ready Run do what they called I think a draft cast, in which they actually watched some other people's games and did commentary. And it occurred to me that I could go back and rewatch some of these early games and do an after the fact commentary. I'm not sure that it's worth it for all of them, although there's one or two that I'm considering it with. But for tonight, I don't want to spend that much time on it. What I am going to do is pull up the decks drafted on Magic Online and just spend a couple minutes on each one and try to move through this to be at a point where I feel like I can try to move forward in the same direction with a slightly different angle going forward. So let's start catching up with Roy. ROI, of course, not really ROI, it's ROI, return on investment. This is what we talked about in the past, setting up a new account, and then first draft I did. I don't think I showed that deck at the time. Here it was. It was a blue-green kind of aggro deck, not the greatest. Lost round 1 to a black, red, white control deck. Won round 2 against a black, red, white aggro deck, and then lost round 3 against a mirror blue green deck, aggressive deck that splashed a little bit of black. So yeah, this one was definitely a little disappointing. Not much else to say there. Did pick up a desecration demon and the Ravnica pack for a little bit of value. I think that was one of those cases where it was a good enough card that even though I didn't think I could play it, I wasn't giving up much to take it, and so I did. So after that first draft, it was a DGR Swiss, I did some trading, sold off some things I had. I think I sold off that M13 booster as well that I had gotten with the new account, and some cards I picked up for a couple ticks, and that also left me with some bot credit, which I'm counting in the ROI as value. That is money I have, even though that is a little less liquid. It's more harder to get at. I got to get the bot up to a full dollar before I can get my tick out of it, but it is still there on the value side of my equation that I know I can get that in the future, and that may often be spread out over numerous bots. I put a line item in here for trading just to capture the change in value. One of the things important to me with the way that I've done the card value estimates and other value estimates is that it's completely current state based, by which I mean I don't need to try to track each individual trade. I can just do a whole bunch of trading and then look at the cards I have left when I'm done and re-estimate the value. It's kind of worth keeping track of the rares that I let go of, but then, and mythics of course, but then the commons and uncommons, the way I've done it, just looking for another count. In that way I don't need to try to track each individual trade. I can just lump them together, and so you'll see these rows on this value log. It's just kind of a rearrangement of value, and can sometimes have a very small either positive or negative effect on the ROI. I didn't put down any fund value for trading because that was just kind of, I did it because I had to rearrange some things. I suppose it would be fair if I really had fun trading to capture value there. But on that scale I've used, that negative to positive 3 scale, for me trading is usually at a 0. So it gets a 0 in the fun column. So I went on then to another DGR Swiss draft. Now, because I had some ticks to buy some packs, and I only had to outlay another $5 to get what I needed to go into that draft. You can see here this jump in card value. I picked up some good stuff there, but this was not the greatest draft. You can see a very small fun value there. Let's look at what that deck was. This was a blue-white mid-rangey deck where let's see, I actually won the first 2 rounds and picked up 2 packs off of it. First round was a 5-color control deck. Second round was a green, black, white control deck. And then the third round was a blue, red, splashing green aggro deck that I lost to. I had given all 3 of those rounds a 1 on the fun. I'd have to go back to the videos to remember why that was. Picked up some nice cards though, although a lot of them I knew I was picking up for value and couldn't play. 2 mythic guild leaders, Aurelia and Isperia. I think when I picked up Aurelia, I was hoping that maybe I could change directions enough to go into some red. Actually, I think I even had some red because I had some Macas, and I had the turn and burn. I must have been considering a 3-color deck that then got narrowed down to 2, and with the double red and no fixing, Aurelia did not make the cut. Also, Abrupt Decay was going for, I think, like 2 tickets at the time. Render Silent, not the greatest spell, but basically a counter spell, and that I think was going for a ticket at the time. So between winning 2 rounds, getting 2 boosters, and picking up some more valuable cards, I did okay on this one. It wasn't the most fun, but I actually gained a little bit of ground in the ROI, which was nice. Would be kind of interesting to hear what else anyone might have tried to do with this mess. Was blue-white the right way to go? Should I have tried to go 3 colors with red, or a different combination? It's kind of awkward because I think I had too much blue to cut the blue and go red-white. And with both of these legends here being heavy white, kind of tempting not to want to cut the white and go blue-red. So, moving on. So, from there, I sold off quite a few of those rares and mythics in order to buy some more packs, and you can see that I picked up enough to be able to do another DGR excuse me, Swiss draft without spending any additional money, which is great. That's exactly what we want to be doing to really boost our return on investment. Unfortunately, you can see it didn't quite pay off for me. Let's pull up that deck. This was kind of a mess of a draft that I had trouble figuring out exactly what direction to go in. This was another Swiss, and once again I won the first 2 rounds and lost the third. I didn't have anything great. I was kind of going for a token, a green, black, white token theme. Didn't have a lot of good tokens, but I had the 2 Urbis Protectors and the Knightly Valor and an Alive and Well here. I actually main decked a Wake the Reflections, which is a little odd. Not something you see often, but as I recall, 1 or 2 games in there, I did manage to use Wake the Reflections to populate a 4/4 Angel, which was pretty cool. So I won 2 packs again, but I didn't get nearly the same card value that I got in the previous draft. There was a Deadbridge Trant, which was worth like a tick and a half, and the Necropolis Regent, which was worth a little under a ticket. But that was kind of it. First round, I won against a black, red, blue, I guess that's Grixis deck. Second round, against a Naya green, red, white deck, I won. Third round, against a Mirror green, black, white deck, I lost. So following that, the Cube was back, and I've never actually drafted Cube before, but always heard people say it was a lot of fun. I'd always kind of dismissed it, like, why am I going to spend money to play a Phantom event? But it was back. I decided to give it a try, and it was a lot of fun. I had to spend $8 to get the ticks for it, or I chose to spend. I could have sold off some packs, but I didn't there. I bought some tickets, and you can see a big jump in the fun value here. I had a lot of fun doing that. I won 2 rounds and picked up some Cube tickets. So you see this new column here. Cube tickets, I'm counting in the value side of the equation. Again, this is a value that's very locked up. There's really nothing I can do with those tickets until the next time Cube is back. But I still have them sitting there that when Cube is back, I can use them again. And the Cube draft is either 8 tickets or 2 and 10 Cube tickets. So I've decided the value of that is that 10 Cube tickets are worth 6 regular tickets, or each cube ticket is worth 60 cents, 6/10. So I picked up 8 cube tickets worth 60 cents each. That's my value there. Let's pull up that deck. I drafted a pretty sweet black-red aggro deck. This is the one that when I get the chance, I will probably try to go back and watch the replays of that and maybe record it with some after the fact commentaries, because they were some good games and they were a lot of fun. If I recall correctly, I don't think there's any way for me to rewatch the draft itself, but I remember being excited for my very first pick to be Huntmaster of the Fells, a card I've never had the opportunity to play with, and then I didn't see a lot of green. The second pick, I think, was the Aristocrat, so I was kind of watching. I knew I wanted to be red, and you can see a lot of red here. I was kind of watching for both green and black. Obviously, we got some decent black cards. Didn't get much green, so didn't even get to play the Huntmaster. Also picked up some nice dragons here that didn't even make the main deck. Won the first 2 rounds against a black, green, and white aggro deck, and then a green, black, red, white control deck. Third round lost, was very unfortunate. There was actually some chaos erupting in my house at the time that forced me to step away from the computer, and I timed out, which really stunk. To be fair, my opponent had a very good red-white aggro deck, and I believe was significantly ahead when I had to step away. It was one of those games that at least I can look back on and say it was very unlikely that I was going to win, from the point that I had to step away and timed out. But still, you hate to give up any chance. I think in the one game that I timed out on, he actually had the Paladin and Vec, I think it's called, in play. It's a 1 white for a 2/2 that's got protection from black and protection from red, and obviously that shut me down pretty hard with this deck. So that, yeah, I think I finished the first game, and then that happened on the second, because I have in my notes that I still rated that game a 2 on the fun, because I think the first game was pretty good, even though I lost, and then I timed out on the second game, and he had that Paladin in play, and would have been nearly impossible for me to come back from that. I still would have much rather played it and lost than be forced to time out like that. So unfortunately, as much as I enjoyed that cube, I did not have another chance to play cube before it cycled out. I'm looking forward to cube coming back. I forget the cycle at which it does, but I know it comes back in a couple months. I guess it's like between sets releases. Cube comes back for a week or something like that. But at this point, the M14 pre-release was out. For the pre-release, you can only use ticks to draft, so I had to buy some ticks, and this was a pretty miserable draft. It didn't go well. Let's pull up the deck. I actually didn't think my deck was terrible. Had a blue-red, pretty aggressive deck here. I kind of liked it. Two young pyromancers, and which are pretty good. Flames, Marauder and the Domestication. Shivan Dragon, which when I first played Magic as a kid was revised, was just cycling out in 4th edition, coming out, and this guy was like the bomb. So I really like seeing Shivan Dragon here. Cool art, but I kind of miss the original kind of garish yellow green bright color dragon. It has some nostalgia for me. First round I won against a green-white aggressive deck. The second round was just horrible. It was a terrible game, facing a red-black aggressive deck. Actually gave that one a 0 on fun, and between the second and third round, some chaos was erupting in my house again. One of the kids getting sick, and I had to attend to that, and third round started up, and I just completely timed out. Didn't even get to play. That really stunk. But that's life. Yeah, there's priorities, and I feel bad for not showing up to that one and not being able to tell my opponent. But that's the way of it. So the next time your opponent doesn't show up and you're cursing their name for not being there, sometimes they're double queuing and just not paying attention to your game, and sometimes there's a small child vomiting in the next room, and explaining it to you is just not the priority. You can take that however you like. So there was this. Did pick up some rares during pre-release. You can sell off a lot of stuff. I was even able to sell off a lot of commons and uncommons here, and my philosophy during the pre-release is sell whatever I can, because that's when it's going to be worth the most. It's going to come down in price very quickly, and I can rebuy anything I think that I need to rebuy, which is at this time, at least on Probable Magic, really hasn't been anything, because so far I've been doing draft. So that takes us up to where I've started doing the videos, and I've got the videos noted here. You can go to those videos and see those decks, including how they were drafted. So I'm not going to pull them up here or talk about them again. I think in the future, my hope is, as part of the draft playlist, after all the rounds, to do a quick couple-minute ROI summary of that particular draft. Not sure if I'll take the time to go back and do these four. So all in all, how's my ROI doing a month into this experiment? Not great. Not great at all. I'd like it to be better. I put it on a little graph here because I love graphs, and it's in the negative pretty throughout, entirely. Really, here's where we started off with our new account purchase at the, what was that, like minus 42%, and downhill from there. I made some gains. I had some losses. So we'll see. We'll keep at it, trying to pull this up. Fortunately, if you watched draft number 4, I came off of that one with 3 packs, which puts me in a very good position for the next one to potentially be an improvement. I'm 1 ticket short of being able to do that without spending anything. I actually got a couple dollars in bot credit here, but it's spread out over several bots. This one, Academy bot, if I can just get him to, spelling error, if I can just get the Academy bot to take another couple cards and push that over the edge, get that second tick, and I can basically do another M14 for free. Also worth noting, I'm still sitting on collection here. Still sitting on a couple of return to Ravnica block packs. I can just pick up a RTR pack and do another DGR draft for some good value. So expect to see that sometime in the future when we get around to it. I definitely like that format enough that I will be using those packs to keep drafting. I'm not going to sell them off for tickets. And there you go. So this was kind of a slog. Not necessary viewing by any stretch, or to see how poorly I'm doing at my ROI. Next episode, hopefully get back to talking about some more interesting things. But as I said at the beginning, I'm having a little shift in focus and changing how I'm going to talk about some of these things from what I originally planned, and that just from my own desires made it important to stick this up for completion. So that's Probable Magic, and that's Modonomics, and I will see you next time.